It is 9:15 on a Saturday morning, just over 1 week before the exams. I'm going to spend the next 3 hours in the university library doing one of the past papers. All of our exams at Cambridge have been 3 hours long. The 3 exams I got this year are 3 hours long. Last year I made the mistake of not doing a full past paper as a mock before the exam. I was only doing half of them at a time. So the first time that I sat down for 3 hours and did a whole paper in one go was the real exam, and it just killed me. So I'm going to practice it a bit first this year. I suppose I'm not allowed to film inside here either. I've never been to the university library to do work before. I've only looked around. Given up after about 2 hours out of the 3 that I should have been able to spend on the paper because I just ran out of stuff to write. Quite a lot of revision needed, I think, even though there's only 1 week left. I'm learning about GPS at the minute. It's part of the topical issues course. I remember for A-level physics we had to learn a bit about GPS, and I just looked at my old notes to see what kind of stuff I had to know. It's wrong, basically. It was a very, very simplified version of how GPS works that we learned at A-level, which now is totally useless information to me because it's just not how it really works. Interesting music coming from Old Hall. It is Sunday, so I would usually be going to Spoons, but Roger didn't want to go because he wants to revise instead. Everybody's acting like we have exams in a week or something. I'm really struggling to concentrate in my room today, so I'm going to find another random place around college to work. Not for too long because it's like 9:30 now, but I'm just going to end up like lying in bed if I stay in my room. The buttery is open like all night, I think, to work in. Obviously it's really well used, there's nobody here. But it means I can work here. I mean, it's not the most ideal place, it's a bit dim in here. But I can't lie down in bed, I can't snack on anything because obviously it's actually closed, there's no food. It has Wi-Fi, but I don't get any signal in here, so maybe that helps a bit with not replying to texts, and it is silent. Topical issues, supervision work done, ready for the supervision tomorrow. Now it's time for bed. It's Monday, which means that exams are now next week, and that is really scary. Plan for today is to go and get my hair cut, then go and buy a birthday card for my granddad, then go to Sainsbury's, then come back here, make lunch, go to the lab, have lunch there, and then do some work in the lab until 5 o'clock, which is when I've got a supervision there. So I'll get a few hours of work done, supervision until 6, come back, have dinner, then do laundry while doing some more work this evening. And the whole time try to stay calm about exams being next week. haircut is done. First thing on my list of things to do today, complete. I'm going to grab some bags and then go straight to Sainsbury's now. It's a bank holiday today and he wouldn't let me have the student price because it's a bank holiday. Can't decide if that's fair or not. I mean, obviously, bank holiday, you don't expect people to work and they are working, but I didn't know in advance that the offer wasn't valid today. He agreed to make a compromise and charge me £12 instead of the full price of 14, but only 2 more than the student price of 10. Anyway, whatever, £2 more I paid, I can deal with that. Sainsbury's. Tempting. I need to buy some more paper as well. I'm always worn out when I get back from Sainsbury's. We're gonna make lunch, cycle to the computer lab and start doing some work. What time is it? It's 12:30. This might be the last time I cycle to the computer lab. Last supervision there. Laundry time. Hate this as usual. I'll not vlog this again. There's a cat there, but I know it's going to run away when I go up to it. And it's gone. I wonder if you could entice the cats into any of those rooms. I'm really struggling with the volume of information that I need to learn this year. This is my biggest problem. There's just so much stuff that is not necessarily complicated to understand. It's just there's so much to remember. Right now I am looking at comparative architectures, protocols for caches. It just explained this MSI protocol where a cache line can be modified, shared or invalid. This is when you've got multiple caches, multiple processors and each has its own cache, but you don't update memory when you update your cache, so you need a way to deal with this. So other processors don't have old data in their cache. So then there's this protocol which is, it's easy to understand if you just spend the time reading through it, and it's got this nice diagram to explain how you transition between these 3 states. Then it goes on to say actually we can make a slight improvement if we had a 4th state, so then we get this diagram instead, which again is understandable, but this is like what, 10 slides out of 600, and this is 1 course out of 15 that I'm doing, and the exams are in a week. I'm going for a run this morning. I haven't done this for a while. Let's see how it goes. Cambridge makes for a really great place to go running. There are lots of nice paths without people or cars around. I don't know how far to go because I have to go back as well. I'll get to the start of the field, which is a bit further up this road, and when I'm a bit less unfit I'll run to the end of all of the fields, which takes you to Grantchester. Okay, this path takes you to Grantchester. Lovely fields next to it and the river runs along the other side. I think that's far enough for me to run, since this is the first time I've run in like a year probably. Okay, let's head back. Okay, now I'm ready to start revising. Or at least that was the plan. Oh, maybe have breakfast first. There is just so much noise this term from gardeners. Listen to the racket that thing makes. They seem to mow the lawn out there like daily. And then they do it on the other side, and then at that side, and then at that side. All the colleges are obsessed with keeping the grass perfect, but it's just so noisy, and then it must be a nightmare for people with hay fever this term as well. On top of exams to revise for, which is what I'm doing now. Actually no, I'm still doing supervision work. This is the last piece of supervision work that I'll ever do. Let me close this window. And this is the last question that I've got to answer. How can performance be improved while reducing power consumption in a processor? And after I've answered this question, no more supervision work ever. After 3 years of doing supervision work, every day, just about. There haven't been many times when I haven't had supervision work to do. There's just always like a queue of supervision work that needs to be done. And during term I usually have 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 supervisions a week, all with hours of preparation. This is the last time. This supervision is tomorrow night. It's a double supervision. It's a course called Comparative Architectures. It's with a supervisor who we had for a few courses in first year. I can't remember who my first supervision was with. It was probably my old director of studies, Dr. Walker, for maths. This supervisor we've got tonight, he must have been one of the first. It's possible that he was first, I can't remember. If it was, that'd be great, if he did the first supervision and the last one. I don't think he was first though, he might have been second. We get a different supervisor for every course, so like we'd have 4 supervisions a week with 4 different supervisors. There have been like 25 lecture courses this year, I'm doing 15 of them. I think I've had supervisions for like 12 or 13 of those courses, and I've had a different supervisor for each one-ish, some have repeated. But yeah, tomorrow is my last supervision. This is my last piece of supervision work. I don't know whether to feel sad or not about this, because supervision work is not fun, but it's basically what I've spent the last 3 years of my life doing. And my last piece of supervision work is complete. I've been for dinner, then I've done some revision with Roger. We quizzed each other on the things we've both been revising today. Now I'm going back to my room. I'll try to do a little bit more revision, get through maybe another lecture's worth of NLP, which was the course that I was doing earlier, then go to bed. Then I'll be one day closer to the exams.